All right. All right. Can y'all hear me now? There we go. We got it. I do need to do one more thing. All right. Can everybody hear me now? Yeah. So, I just got home from work. So normally I work from home, but today I had to go out in the field and do some things. So, I am all like dressed up in my work garb today. So, sorry for that. Yeah, real jobs do stink. So we're doing all kinds of crazy things. So Ethan, yes, that is true. And I'll tell you right now, it's a crazy time. So today, I had to go out to a customer site that's right next to the airport here in Atlanta. And the airport's, I mean, we had jets, you know, I mean, we're like the main hub for Delta Airlines. So there's like all kinds of Delta planes flying over and man, it was strange. I still can't hear right out of my left ear. And Ethan, it's a funny story. So for those of you guys that have heard about this, I'll tell the story here because I haven't really talked to you guys since this happened. This past Friday, I was in a Zoom call with my office, right? And we had a couple of guys on the Zoom call, and you know, it was just a conversation that I didn't necessarily want to be rude in, you know, which is so uncommon for me. Like, I'm usually rude all the time, so who cares, right? So I had to sneeze, you know, I could feel a sneeze coming. So like I held on to my nose, you know, because I'm thinking like if I hold my nose, I won't sneeze. You can't sneeze if your eyes are open and you hold your nose, right? Wives' tale, totally false. Even with your eyes open and holding your nose, you can still sneeze. And the full force of the sneeze somehow did not make it out of my right ear hole, but it all came through like this one ear hole, just boom. And it was the worst pain that I've been in many, many, many years. It hurt like hell. I got good drugs, you know, to make the pain go away. It was crazy. So, I mean, it destroyed my eardrum. I still can't hear proper in my left ear. I don't know that I'll ever hear proper in my left ear again. And that sucks. Because that was something that I enjoyed, you know, was being able to hear. Yeah, so I was, I mean, Shadow had asked what I'm doing to the Gen 8. And the real question is, what am I not doing to the Gen 8? So I got like a whole plethora of parts in today. And I wanted to, you know, kind of wrench around on the truck a little bit during the... Oh, Barry Campbell, I mean, it didn't just go pop. I mean, it was terrible. It was terrible. No vertigo. You know, my balance is fine. I don't feel like I'm falling over or anything. There's just no pressure in my ear anymore. So it's just weird. I can't hear anymore. in that ear. It sounds, I mean, I can kind of hear from it, but it sounds like I'm underwater all the time. So I'm not sure, you know, what the deal is. It may come back, it may not. All you guys that are saying sorry to hear that, I get it, you turds. I didn't, Dana, because I was on a phone call. I was on a phone call when it happened. I was like on a Zoom call, so I couldn't, you know, I couldn't do my normal, you know, screaming and crying like a bitch like I normally would have. I mean, that would have been, you know, standard operations for the whole air marshal, is to scream like a girl. And I just couldn't, man. It hurt, though, bad. So let me get out this just massive array of super cool stuff that we got. So for any of you guys that either have or are interested in getting a Redcat Gen8, and we can still talk about airplanes, you know, obviously, you know, we can still talk about airplanes on the Air Marshal show, but, you know, today I've got the old Redcat Gen8 crawler on the bench here because I got so much cool stuff for it that I kind of wanted to share and show you guys, like, look at all this neat stuff. Yeah! All right. So in the piles and piles of neat stuff that I have for the Redcat, we have a Firma 40 amp ESC and receiver. We have the light kit, the Redcat Gen8 light kit to add LEDs all around. So we can have LEDs all around. And I have like a little carousel stand, you know, for my trucks and crawlers and stuff, which is cool. I got some super sweet wheels from Trio that are black and brushed. And these are like the beadlock type wheels, and they're made out of brass. So this package that I'm holding in my hand weighs about 2 pounds. This is a very heavy set of beadlock rims. What else do I got over here? I got other magnets that we're going to put on the body. This is the programmer for the ESC and speed control. Yeah, speed control, ESC, same thing. And then I got a whole bunch of stuff from a place called Club 5 Racing. So this is a full safari style roof rack that we're going to add to the roof of the body. What do we got in here? We've got all new, you know, super beefy, you know, I want to say that these are, you know, they're steel steering linkages with a new, you know, front steering link. So the man, I always forget what they call that. So I got a new drag link, a new front tie rod, and the one in the back that I can never remember what the name of it is because it's got a funky name. If any of you guys know crawlers, you probably know the name of it. I've got all new lower links for my multi-link suspension that are all heavier duty. I've got bolt-on magnets to hold the body on instead of the Velcro that's in there now. I've got some big brass, these are the wheel hex sets that add a little offset to the tires to bring the tires out a little more and, you know, take away from some of the top heaviness, make it squat down more on the ground. We've got some metal logos. I don't know if you guys can see all this stuff. Metal logos. You know what I have now? And this would be a great time to use it. Look at what I got. Look what I got. I got a remote. I got a remote for my camera. No, it's not Portal Gear hubs. It's not the hub carrier. It's actually one of the linkages, and it's on the back. So it kind of follows the drag bar from the steering, but it's on the back, and I can't remember what the name of it is. So it's not like the drag link that goes here. So this would be the drag link. It's one that's in the back of it. So it's back here. I just can't remember the name of that particular linkage, but it came with the kit, and we're going to be replacing it. Obviously, all this stuff isn't happening tonight, right? RC Roland, you're welcome. I got this guy. So this repositions the servo, because right now the servo is horizontal and the servo linkage is offset to one side. So this positions the servo right in the center and puts the steering link right in the center, which supposedly takes away some bump steer and other things. I got a nice guard for the front that says like 4x4. It's all metal. I got some scale windshield wipers that I can glue onto here. So, I mean, all of this stuff is like, for me, it's stupid cool. It's just cool scale details that we can add to the truck to make everything like, you know, kind of pop a little bit. Because, you know, I love this stupid truck. I think it's awesome. For those of you that have not seen one yet, you know, it's hard to explain how cool they are. I love it, man. I'm not, man. Joe Pellegrino, I'm going to leave it green. I think that the green color looks pretty awesome. And I also got some new, these are for the front. So let me raise it up here. The shackles on the front are made out of plastic, and I already had one like break. They're crappy. But that, you know, to be 100% honest with you, the truck, like stock out of the box, runs awesome. And there's not really any changes that you need to make to it. All of this stuff is almost exclusively cosmetic and is not going to add any real benefit to the truck. It's just stuff that looks cool, you know. So if you don't care, so Dana, that's what I'm getting at. For $300, you get this truck ready to roll, and you don't have to do anything to it for it to go, for it to perform fantastic. You don't have to do anything. So KBRC, nobody knows. Nobody knows the price of the Draco just yet. There's a few people that know what the price of the Draco is going to be. And every single one of those people, they all work at Horizon Hobby. I don't know how much it's going to be. I don't know if, you know, other folks that I assume have already received the Draco know how much it's going to be. And that's just how it goes, man. We don't know how much it's going to be until it gets here, right? So it just kind of is what it is. I'm hearing $600. You know, some people have you know, it's fun to speculate on this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Is it Is any of what you hear right now real? I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust anything that you're hearing right now until you see one for real on Thursday. You know, when you see it on Thursday, that's going to be the first time almost anyone else has seen it. So I wouldn't take anything that anybody else says from now until Thursday to be worth anything except a big bag of dicks. There's not very many people that can speak with authority as to exactly what the Draco's going to be just yet. You know, what it is, how much it's going to cost, nothing. But it's exciting, you know, that they put out on Monday, like, hey, the wait is finally over. Start following Mike Patey because you're probably going to meet the guy on Thursday. I think it's going to be super cool. And I told you guys, man, I told you that as soon as our stimulus money was released through Congress, they were going to drop it the next week. Who told you? I told you that's what they were waiting on. Man, this ain't no coincidence. This ain't no coincidence. They know that the people that got money, they're not getting a stimulus. They know that the people that ain't got no money, we are getting a stimulus. Now, the people that already got money, they don't need extra money to buy a Draco, so they're just going to buy one. And the people that ain't got no money, we're getting an Uncle Joe check, so now we can afford a Draco all of a sudden. And boom, we're just going to lay the hammer down. They're going to sell an ass ton of these planes because they were brilliant. Man, I'm telling you, they can say whatever they want. They can be like, oh, we were waiting for Mike Patey to give us the final release and blah, 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 blah. Yap, 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 yap. Bull. Y'all were waiting for Uncle Joe to drop the relief check. Y'all were waiting for Uncle Joe. And the next week, boom, Draco drop. Y'all know. Draco drop the next week. Boom. Now listen, I don't know if any of that baloney that I just spewed out is true, but man, that's what I think is happening. That's what I think is going on. I think they were waiting. And then as soon as Uncle Joe drops some money, boom. So I think this thing's going to be like an 18 or 2,000 sized airplane. Between 2,000 millimeter and 2,100 millimeter. It's going to be about the same size as like the Carbon Z Cessna 150. Maybe a little longer because the Draco had a pretty long fuselage with its big ass wings. Let's see. I think it's going to have awesome lights. We haven't seen the lights, but I think it's going to have awesome lights. And that we're going to have a channel on the receiver where we can turn those lights on and off and change the configuration of the lights in flight, which I think is going to be awesome. I think we're going to have thrust reversing, which is going to be awesome. We're going to have huge barn door flaps, just like the real thing had, which is going to be awesome. I mean, this is going to be an awesome airplane full of more tricked out, scaled out, super cool features than we've probably ever seen in a model airplane before. You know, it's Mike Patey. Look, if you guys, I mean, look, I get that some people aren't excited about the Draco, and that's absolutely fair. I get it. You know, is the Draco the be-all, end-all, super? Thanks, Victor. Yes. I can kind of hear. I just can't hear very well. I bet you if you get it in the right crosswind, Shadow, it will ground loop like a mofo and flip right over. So yeah, I mean, if we look at all the things that, in my understanding, that it's going to have, this is going to be a super, super cool airplane. Is it going to be worth $600? It really depends on how your viewpoint on things, where you stand on how much you're willing to part with to get a little piece of aviation history. And Ron, I mean, you guys can show that. Ron is saying it's an ugly ass plane. I mean, I don't disagree. I don't think that Draco was an object of affection for its good looks. I think that it turned so many heads because of how unique it was. Number one, you don't see a lot of Wilgas out there anyway. The Wilga is not like the pinnacle of popularity in general aviation. You know what I'm saying? It's not a Cessna 172. It's just not a very popular plane. It's not a Cub. It's something you don't see every day. And for Mike Patey to take this thing and make like one of the ultimate bush planes out of it is kind of an amazing feat in itself. And to do it with such authority, to come out there and make like one of the baddest STOL planes that the world has ever seen at that point, out of a plane that has, that kind of lives in obscurity in the first place, is pretty amazing. While I may not buy this plane, and there's a qualifier to that statement. Will I have a Draco? Yes. Am I buying this plane because I must have a Draco? Not really. I'm buying this plane because I 100% support Mike Patey and everything that he does for aviation. Mike Patey is one of the few pioneers of aviation that really takes the bar and raises it to the next level and busts through glass ceilings and takes his goals and stretches them out further than anybody could have ever imagined anyone would possibly be willing to go on a project. A lot of people love Cubs far more than like Wilga, and I'll give you this, if you've been following the Scrappy build, I think most people would agree that what he has so far of Scrappy blows the wheels off of the looks and appearance of the Draco. Scrappy looks amazing. That plane looks badass, and I hope to God they make a model of it one day, because I'll buy that one too. And it's not because I love Cubs. I honestly don't like them. I don't love the Wilga. I could care less about a Wilga, but I love Mike Patey and what Mike Patey does for aviation, and I will support everything that Mike Patey puts into this hobby. And if us as hobbyists can give back to Mike Patey to allow him to continue to innovate and just go buck wild crazy, look, just like you guys that hand me super chats, that's awesome. When I pay $450 for this Draco, a big, giant, 2,000 millimeter, scale as hell plane with the coolest features you've ever seen on a model, I'd probably pay $450 for it. And if out of that $600, $150 is going straight to Mike Patey's pocket, consider that $150 super chat from Dave. And I don't give a damn. I will pay that. Take my money, Mike Patey. That guy deserves it, man. That guy is awesome. And for him to inspire the number of people that he has through the creation of some of his oddball projects, you bet. I will support that all day. That's funny. So, like I said, I get it. There's going to be some people that aren't interested in the plane. And I just want you guys to understand, why I'm going to get the plane. Is it because Wilgas are great? No. Don't really care for Wilgas. Is it because I want a STOL plane? Not so much. I've got a Husky, and that thing's a badass STOL plane, dude. I've got a Bigfoot, and that thing's a pretty badass STOL plane. I don't need a big old freaking Draco. But I do want to support Mike Patey. And if Mike Patey gets something out of this, I'll give him my money. Take my money, man. Absolutely. And I remember watching him build this plane, and for the price tag, here's something else that I am not at all concerned about, guys. For the price tag, and maybe I'm in a different situation than most of the other folks that are in here. For the price tag of the Draco, if it's $600, here or there, give or take, I am in a position where I have a club where we have a lot of members. We have a lot of members at our club. And because we have a lot of members at our club, and I promise you, the Draco will not stay in stock. It will not stay in stock. Take that to the bank, whether you like it or not. You don't have to love the Draco to know that it's going to be one of the best-selling planes that Horizon has ever made. I mean, you can pretty much take that to the bank. It's going to be one of the best-selling planes that Horizon has ever made, period. You can hate it, you can love it, but you must acknowledge that it's going to be one of the best-selling planes that Horizon's ever made. Now, understanding that, I don't mind buying one during the pre-order phase and getting it here because I know it's going to be sold out, and I've got 300 members at my club, and all I have to do is say the word Draco for sale in my club Facebook page, and I just sold that shit for face value. Yep. I can sell it the any day, and be like, hey, $600, and somebody will hand me $600 for it. That's right, Airvex. Nothing but legend points. See, Bobby, what's up? So normally I have my mouse, but today I was in such a hurry, like my mouse and my keyboard I actually took with me out in the field today that I normally have when I'm controlling all this stuff. So, I'm just trying to keep up with the chat, so if I've missed some questions or whatever, just ask them again. Sorry, guys. Wow, Bill, what is up? So Flight Test did release the Trent Palmer plane, didn't they? Release the Kit Fox, or the what? The Freedom Fox, the Freedom Fox, and that plane was a piece of doo doo. The Flight Test Freedom Fox is no good. It's discontinued because it sucked, Ken Sprouse. It's discontinued because it sucked. I do know some people that got it, and they didn't really like it at all. It was kind of a flimsy design. It wasn't very good. And because it was kind of crappy, it didn't sell well for them. And I hate it because I like Flight Test. But I also I don't think that Flight Test does as much for aviation in general and innovation as Mike Patey does. So the Kit Fox, Freedom Fox, I wasn't interested in it at all. But I'll buy the Draco. Yes, I will. Barry Campbell and Flying Times coming in with the dad jokes tonight. That's funny. You can unscrew a light bulb. So I would love to see a series of punch counterpunch between the two kind of Goliaths of American-backed radio control airplanes. I want to see Horizon come in with the Draco punch and Motion come in with their punch. Give me something awesome from E-Flight and give me something awesome, and don't bring your junk to the table. I mean, Horizon's coming in, their opening punch is a $600 airplane, and they've been getting in the quick jabs all year, and now it's like, boom, and Motion hasn't come out with anything in 2021 yet, as far as I know. If I'm wrong, please let me know, and if James is in here, let me know. Am I wrong? Has Motion released anything in 2021? So, I want to see, this awesome, boom, 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 punch, counterpunch between Horizon and Motion, all year long. So, yes, give me the Draco, and then show me a new 1600 Flightline Warbird. And then show me something new. I mean, look, Horizon's already come in deep gut punch with this awesome FW190. Boom! And I don't like FW190s, but I'll acknowledge the the E-Flight FW190. It's freaking hot. They come in with the new UMX A10. Cool. They came in with the UMX Night Vapor. Cool. They've already had several releases in 2021, and, now they're coming out of the gate with the big swing of the Draco, another $600 plane. Boom, boom. I mean, they're like Mike Tyson, just bam, 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 just beating bitches down in 2021. What do we got, man? What do we got? Motion needs to come out the gate swinging. Oh, you may have got me in the first round, biatch, but look what I got. Ding, 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 ding. We need to see the counterpunch. Y'all know what I'm saying? I'm ready for the Motion RC counterpunch. What do y'all think? Joe Pellegrino, that'd be awesome. Hey, Micah, that's okay. Hey, don't try to take away the significance. We didn't know how much stuff they shelved in 2020. Did they shelve stuff in 2020? Absolutely that happened. But, we don't know for sure what got, whether or not the stuff we're seeing today was intended for 2020 or intended for 2021. Ken Sprouse, I think that BitGo is going to release some pretty freaking awesome planes here in the very near future. I have not seen one, but I've gotten to see some behind the scenes, FaceTime, phone calls, text messages, pictures, and whatnot of what they've got in store with this new balsa lineup. And I mean, they look nice. So I don't know if you guys can actually see it. Bobby showed off one of the instrument panels of a plane that he has not shown you guys yet. And the instrument panel is so amazingly cool. I mean, like, it's got the dials and the numbers and the little screws that hold the bevels, onto the instruments. It looks so good. It looks so good. So I'm super excited for the balsa planes that BitGo has around the corner. I've never been a fan of the Storch, but I love the Storch that they've got. And just kind of the cool factor of being able to like take the wings and fold them back, like a EC2 Greyhound, for carrier operations, right? I mean, they've just got some really neat stuff. And one of the balsa planes that, Bobby hasn't talked about yet, I'm not going to talk about it until they do. But man, I think that you guys are really going to like it. RC Video Reviews, how are you doing tonight? It is good to see you. So RC Video Reviews, are you going to be buying the new E-Flight Draco? For $600? Probably not. So what are we guessing about there, Brendan? Are we talking about the Draco? Are you guessing on what the price is going to be? Joe Pellegrino, I do. I know what's coming. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. I think that you guys are really going to enjoy what BitGo's got coming down the pipe. It is very cool. Tim Nelson, Draco will be getting released on Thursday. And look, I get it. I get it. There's a lot of stuff that people like better than the Draco. You guys know my reasons for wanting to go that route. And everyone that buys one is going to have their own reason for wanting one. So Ken Sprouse, I wasn't able to make the Zoom this past Friday because of the incident with my ear, but I'm able to hear again, which is nice. Riker RC, that was last year that happened. It was released on the website at $4.99 for pre-order. No pictures, and it wasn't even really the right model. Right, because they were calling it the Draco X on the Horizon website, and the Draco X, technically speaking, hasn't even been built yet. That is Mike Patey's next Draco. Barry Campbell, you get what's going on? Are you like prearranging your alien abductions to happen on Monday and Tuesday nights? Pickle Pilot, what is going on? Oh, nice. Listen, don't knock it till you try it, GB. You never know how good an anal probe is until you've experienced it. I mean, it could be terrible, but it could be the best thing ever. Barry Campbell, a professor or what? Bullshit. My name is Dr. Bullshit. We're here to teach you about nothing. Beanie, Tennessee, I hope so, because I'm pretty sure my answer is going to be stupid. So if the question's smart, we can balance each other out. What's up? So the planes, I just need to make a video on how I mount the planes to the wall, and that way I can just direct you guys to it. They're held from a picture hanger. Like a nail in the drywall, ding, 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 picture hanger. And what I've got is a piece of mason line. I believe that's what it's called. It's mason line. It's like a synthetic twine that I've got, you know, a loop around each landing gear that goes up to like a, you know, I just make a little loop that you can hang it from, and then I put it on a picture hanger. That's it. Barry Campbell, that's awesome, man. It could be nylon string. So, Beatty, Tennessee. Scottabot is the beard, man. I finally shaved it off. I had it for so long and it just doesn't do what I want. I'll grow it again. In another month, I'll have a beard again. Because, you know, I don't like having it and I don't like not having it. It's kind of weird. Like I shave it off and then I hate myself. And then I have it and I don't like it. Wild Bill, no, you do not. Wild Bill, the only thing that I would suggest, if you have nickel metal hydride batteries, they've made some updates to the charge algorithm for the nickel metal hydride packs. So unless you are running nickel metal hydride, you really won't benefit from updating to the G2 software by upgrading. Now there is a couple of cool benefits to having the G2 interface in your G1 charger, and one of those is that because, and they've known this the whole time, they just never really did anything with this information. Because the charger knows what the capacity of the pack is through the smart chip, and it understands, you know, how much it's putting in, and it knows what the level is. So if I can plug a pack in and the charger knows right away, okay, this is a 6S 5,000 milliamp pack, and it is currently at like 20-ish volts or whatever the pack voltage is, okay, then it's currently at, 30% capacity, which means that I have to put this milliamps back into it to get it back up to 100% capacity. So it can give you a pretty dead nuts accurate charge time remaining instead of you having to guess. So that is one benefit of updating to the G2 softwares. With all smart packs, whether they are G1 or G2 packs, all smart packs, it will report back a charge time remaining, which is really neat. So Barry Campbell, it's interesting that you asked that. So the video that I put out yesterday for updating the S2100 or any of the G1 smart chargers to the G2 firmware, if you have the... I'm sorry. If you have the G1... Shit. I completely forgot what I was going to say, man. The train of thought just completely derailed. Gone. I got nothing. You're getting 2 different readings on your Life 2200 pack. S2100 shows 100%. XBC 100 shows 90%. Alright, do the Life packs have like balance leads on them? I'm not really familiar with the Life packs, so forgive my my ignorance there. Well, it looks like a lot of people, I mean, there's a lot of people excited about some Draco, and I'd say we have about a 50-50 mix here of people that are excited and people that don't give a damn. Negative. No discount codes. Yeah, Joe Pellegrino, I believe that those update, I think it says March of 2021 when they're going to get them back in stock. So hopefully you'll see them ship here in the next week or two. Now, back in November, it said the NX10 was going to ship. And then it said it was shipping in December. And then it said it was shipping in January. And I don't think I got it till February. So take all of that with a grain of salt, man. Riker RC, I'm not sure what normal discount you're talking about. They may have a battery combo where they throw in a battery for half price, but they're definitely not going to be discounting the Draco, the airframe, not for a long time. BD Tennessee, when running a telemetry receiver and reading battery voltage, do you need a smart ESC? I seen something about you don't need smart battery. Smart battery can read cell and normal will show total voltage. So if you're wanting to stay inside the Spectrum smart ecosystem, you do need a Spectrum telemetry receiver and a Spectrum Smart ESC in order to pass that data from the ESC back to the transmitter over telemetry. Now, if what you're saying is, do you need it to get that information? Do you have to be running Smart to get telemetry? Absolutely not. You know, FR Sky makes a ton of great telemetry stuff for their, you know, SmartPort ecosystem. Jetty makes a ton of telemetry stuff for their Jetty ecosystem. The and I can't remember what the Jetty radios are called. I think if Just Plain Crazy is still in here, he can tell you all about, you know, the Jetty receivers, the Jetty receiver modules. I mean, they've got a ton of telemetry options available. Futaba's got a ton of telemetry options available. You know, certainly not. I mean, the The Spectrum stuff is unique in that it does not require any external modules. You get all the telemetry without needing anything else. So if you have Spectrum Smart batteries, Spectrum Smart ESCs, and Spectrum Smart capable receivers, you're going to get all of those, telemetry. You're going to get all those telemetry data points without adding any external sensors. Can you get battery temperature with Futaba? Can you get battery temperature with FR Sky? Of course you can. But you got to wrap like a little sensor around the battery and plug that into your receiver or into some kind of telemetry hub. Can you get current being used through the ESC? Of course you can. You can buy a shunt that goes between your battery and your ESC that has a little wire that goes out to your telemetry system. Can you get pack voltage? Can you get cell voltages? Can you get motor RPMs, fuel tank levels, this, blah, blah, blah. Can you get all those things? Yes. So BD Tennessee, the answer to that question, very quick and dirty, is no, you will not receive individual cell voltages, but you will get total pack voltage. You can get total pack voltage with a non-Spectrum battery. How many motors does new BidGo Hobby ARF? I don't understand. I don't understand what you're asking. Bill Shepard, that's funny. The FAA has mandated all RC planes must be smarter than the pilots. Hey man, I know some RC pilots. That is not a very high bar. Oh, that's funny. Has anyone else seen that Mustang SUV from Ford? A Mustang SUV? What are you talking about? The new Ford Bronco? So NX10, Spectrum telemetry, and normal LiPo. You can get total pack voltage with only the NX10 and telemetry. Spectrum receiver. No, you still need a Spectrum ESC. I'm sorry. You do need, to BD Tennessee, you will still need an avian ESC, or if it's a surface vehicle, you need a Firma ESC like we have right here. Surface vehicles. Oh, man. Mustang Mach-E. John Graham, I have seen the new Bronco, and I personally like it better than I like most Jeeps. I am just not a big Jeep kind of guy. I love trucks, just never cared for Jeeps, man. I don't know when Jeeps became like all the rage, with guys that do like rock crawling and all that crap, but I think it's just terrible. Those things were never meant for that kind of, rugged terrain, and that's why to me, they're kind of a joke. But, they're awfully popular. Alan Gentry, that's true. Spectrum is trying to get you to buy their proprietary systems. And so is Futaba. And so is FR Sky. FR Sky wants you to buy all their crap, which is why they came out with the Access Protocol. Jetty. wants all your money. I promise you, Jetty wants you to completely switch over to their absolutely proprietary radio system. That's right. And now they have Ethos, which apparently is not going to be backwards compatible with OpenTX and is not even really based on OpenTX at all, you know? So I don't know that their new, whatever it is that they're calling these radios, it's like dual, 900 and 2.4 gigahertz system that they have in the new FR Sky radio, but it's completely proprietary. Everybody has proprietary systems. So, to say that Spectrum wants all your money, that's, to me, to be fair, that's a little bit short-sighted. All these companies want all your money. Don't point the finger at Spectrum and pretend like they're like the bad guys. All these companies want all your money. Like all of them. Buy into ours. Ours is the best. Buy into our system. Ours is the best. Right, Joe Pellegrino, I mean, look, to me, that is where Spectrum shines. And listen, my understanding is that while, there is no direct support, it's not like Radio Master has a presence in the United States. But my understanding is that they do have a repair network established in the United States of several shops throughout the United States. And Radio Master has paired with a pretty giant name in the FPV world, and that is Team Black Sheep. So, between the repair network that Team Black Sheep has in place, which they're able to leverage to get Radio Master stuff fixed, the Radio Masters now have a very reputable and quick repair service here in the U.S. And my understanding is that it's pretty easy to get in touch with them. Knock on wood, I haven't had to get my TX16S repaired. It's been working brilliantly for me. But, I've seen some folks that have had really good luck getting the TX16S fixed if something bad happens to it, which I think is fantastic. Look, at the end of the day, this kind of stuff where, when we can have this company come out with the TX16S, that's going to make this company coming out with this IX12, that's going to make these guys work harder to come out with a product that can beat this one. Competition is the best thing for capitalism, It's the best thing for capitalism. It's the best thing in the world for innovation. So the fact that Radio Master can come out there and they can release this TX16S and they can kick butts with it. I mean, seriously, kick butts. That is the greatest thing on earth for free market capitalism and innovation in the history of all time ever. Do you think that Apple would have ever made, something better than the original iPhone if Samsung hadn't been knocking on their door with the Galaxies? Like, what up, bitch? I'm here to take your money. Apple don't want you taking their money. They want all your money. Horizon wants all your money. Radio Master wants all your money. All these companies want all your money. John, we can talk about that later, dude. We can talk about that at another time. That's my private time, man. Sometimes I like to indulge on air, but I'd like to do it, in ways that people don't understand exactly what I'm doing. And you're trying to give away all my secret stash. You're trying to give away my secrets. Oh. Oh, Nate, are y'all moved into the new place, man? That's awesome. So, guys, because I don't have a mouse, I got my phone. So I can see what time it is. Hey, what is up? Dexter Tucker. So Dexter Tucker, I didn't notice until just now that you had sent a PayPal like an hour ago. So if you are still in here, Dexter Tucker, thank you so much for sending that PayPal donation. I completely missed it. But your generosity has not gone unnoticed. Your $15 will be going towards my E-Flight Draco. Thank you. Actually, your $15 was already spent because Zoom took $15 out right before the stream went live. So Zoom took their $15 and then you replenished the pot. So, still, thank you, sir. I really do appreciate it. Oh, George Watts. I mean, let's talk about marketing for a minute. I've talked about it before, but some people that are in here may not have ever heard those chats before. Spectrum and Horizon and E-Flight and Park Zone, like their airplane brands, and now even like Losi and Axial. Man, one of the greatest marketing campaigns of all time, period, of all time, was E-Flight Bind and Fly. It's already got the Spectrum receiver in it. These massively popular planes will be ready to go. Just bind it up to your Spectrum DSM2 or DSMX radio. All you need is a 6-channel radio to bind any of our new Bind and Fly radios. You just bind it up and you're ready to go. You don't have to program squat. You can take this and put it in your radio, and in 5 minutes you're flying. That was one of the best marketing campaigns that's still going today, and it's another way that Horizon wants all your money. And it's another way that many, many, many people in this hobby give all of their money to Horizon. Look, you can love them or you can hate them, but to deny that Horizon is some marketing geniuses is just short-sighted, man. Horizon is number one in the game for a reason. You don't have to like their tech. You don't have to like who they are. Same as the Draco. You may not like it, but you better learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo! A little bit of Ric Flair action from back in the day. Horizon Hobby wants all your money. They don't just want your Draco money. They want your Uncle Joe money. They want your Draco money. They want your lunch money. They want your kids' lunch money. They want the money that you were going to use to buy a wedding ring for your fiance, but now y'all can't get married yet because you couldn't afford the engagement ring because instead of getting the engagement ring, you spent $600 on Draco. Man, look, this plane is going to ruin lives and create lifelong friendships. Dude, Dana. So, funny story. There are two companies that use the name Zoom. Not necessarily in the stock market. I don't think that Zoom on the stock market is the same Zoom that we think of when we think of Zoom communications. So there was a really small company named Zoom that was being traded publicly. And at the beginning of the pandemic, their stocks just exploded. I mean, their stocks were like 50 cents and went up to like $50. And people are like, sell the shit out of it. I mean, that was like a higher kick up than GameStop, right? Like GameStop went through the roof. This place went higher than, percentage-wise, people made more money off of that Zoom stock than anyone made off of GameStop. I mean, these guys just shot through the roof until they started telling people like, hey guys, we're not that Zoom. We're not that Zoom. But yes, I would say that right now, like your Zooms, your Ciscos, you know, the companies that really came out to make a difference for the marketplace instead of trying to exploit, you know, the bad. I mean, Zoom, whether you like distance learning or not, Zoom is what facilitated the continuing education of the children of America. Like I said, whether you like the distance learning or not, there's been a lot of that kind of conversation here tonight. Like, whether you like this or not, these guys made a difference. You know, companies like Zoom, companies, you know, like Cisco with their WebEx product, those companies that allow that very easy, very flexible mass, you know, video conferencing, those companies and those services, just generally speaking, made one of the biggest impacts during a time when we were all on lockdown. I mean, you guys know this. I mean, we jump in Zoom every Friday night. We jump in Zoom every Friday. So, you know, that's a company that made a difference. It made a difference for a lot of us. And yeah, I mean, whatever their stock is worth today, I'd hold on to it. I certainly don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. You know, I think that through this pandemic, that WebEx and Zoom have learned so much about their products that they are going to be the leaders in that space for years and years and years to come. Unless something happens, you know? Well, George Watts, if you really think about it, I think one of the next, I mean, obviously video conferencing has been a big technology disruptor for a lot of business. You know, the number one, it was a big disruptor for the travel agency because now we don't have to go on as many business trips and whatever. You know, I think between you know, companies like Zoom and Cisco, Sonic Wall, and not so much Sonic Wall, but, you know, like Palo Alto, you know, some of these big routing companies that make corporate VPN infrastructure, AWS with cloud computing, Azure, these companies that have been kind of virtual ready for a long, long time have just made mounds and mounds and mounds of money since the inception of this pandemic Because all the IT guys that already knew started telling all their buddies that were still stuck in this kind of fixed infrastructure environment, like, why don't you guys set up VPNs? Ken Sprouse, I have heard of Restream. You know, why aren't you using VPNs? Why aren't you using cloud computing? Why aren't you using video conferencing? Why aren't you making, you know, all of these databases available in the cloud, you know, where anybody at your, you know, anybody that works for your company can be sitting anywhere in the world and have access to their workspace through a private encrypted tunnel, and even people sitting right next to them on the same network wouldn't be able to see what they're doing. And I think that has just blown away. That has gotten so much more prominent now, even for the small business, that now we're even seeing small businesses that are spending the money on, you know, Palo Alto routers, you know, and other big name. I mean, there's one that I'm forgetting that I'm ashamed to admit that I forgot it. But, you know, a lot of that infrastructure that's in place has been around for eons. For eons, this stuff has been around. You know, like the checkpoints and the Palo Altos and the, you know, the Sonic walls, and the Zoom has been around for a long time. Cisco WebEx has been around for a long time. Cisco as a company has been around for a long time. The VPN infrastructure that they've had has been around for a long time. The firewall capabilities have been around for a long time. All of this stuff has been around for a long, long time. And the ability, and this is where all of this is going, 10 minutes of BS to get to this right here. The travel, you know, business has been affected greatly because people aren't taking as many business trips. I think the next big corporate, you know, kind of behemoth that's going to suffer from this pandemic, or as a result of this pandemic, and what people maybe thought that they might be able to do but never realized to what extent they could do it, I think that corporate real estate is about to go down the drain. Who needs corporate real estate and big ass buildings to have my offices in when I can pay people to sit at home and not have to pay rent? I'll let them take their own tax break, so I'll actually pay them a little higher salary since I don't have to pay rent on this big ass facility anymore. So now I can give all of my employees, you know, I've got 40 employees and I've got this big ass facility that costs me 20 grand a month. So I'm going to give all of my employees a $500 a month pay raise since I don't have to pay for this building anymore for them to come and sit in. Start spreading that wealth out. Right now, everybody's sitting at home. Everybody gets happier. All of a sudden, people start becoming more productive because they hate going to work, but they love waking up at 7:55 and starting their workday at 8 o'clock in their pajamas. You know, there are a lot of benefits. There's a lot of pros and cons to people working from home, but I think that what the world is finding out is that corporate real estate is a sham and we don't need it anymore. That the money well spent for big business right now is in big data. It is in AWS architecture. It is in VPN technology. It is in Zoom video conferencing. We don't need corporate real estate anymore. We don't need travel agencies anymore. We don't need any of that crap because we have figured out that we can still dominate and run the world right from inside our freaking homes. And when I can sit here on YouTube and host just me talking to an audience of 80, 100 people, 60 people, whatever, however many people are in here, I can't tell, right? for me to be able to do this and broadcast this for free is amazing. And the quality that you guys get from it, you know, like you guys can see, this is good quality. If I want to broadcast my message and I have an audience, it doesn't cost me anything. I don't have to rent a big ass auditorium. I just tell everybody to show up to this YouTube stream and boom. What's up, Ryan? So Ryan just comes in here and the only thing he says is it's bad to the bone. So I think we all know what Ryan's talking about, and that makes me super excited because I'm really looking forward to Thursday and seeing what comes out, man, and how cool it's going to be. Hey, Ryan, I got a question for you. Are you ready? Are you ready? Thanks, man. So, Ryan, how do I get the wheels off of this big juicy truck? Let me do my new trick. Y'all see my new trick? Oh yeah. How do I get the wheels off, Ryan? The wheels. How do I get that piece off? Right there. Twist the middle out to expose the nut. Well, usually when I'm trying to expose the nut, oh. Well, never mind. We won't talk about how I normally expose the nut. Alright, so should I just be able to twist them off by hand? Oh, come on, man. That was too easy. Damn, I feel like an idiot. Well, look at that. They come right off. So now we got like 30 minutes left. So I'm going to get these wheels off. And I've got these fancy wheels. Oh, Ryan. Now that Ryan's here, I can show him what else I got. So, Ryan, my whole big stash of Club 5 parts came in today. So, like my new little steering servo repositioning bracket, my 4x4, thing, my little brush guard thing, the axle guard. I got my shackles. I've got my new steering linkages, all from California, in like less than a week. All of my new control links. I got my metal Scout logo. Check these out, guys. These are cool. So the metallic logos, I love how I can just zoom in and in and in on this camera. So I've got, these are metal. Can you see the sheen on them? They look black in the camera, but they're actually shiny, like chrome, polished metal. International Scout 2 logos that I can put on the body instead of the silly stickers they have, so it looks more like a raised metallic emblem that they would have on the real full-scale car. I've also got my windshield wipers, my magnet kit. I've got my magnet kit. I got my big, offset brass hexes. I got my Safari roof rack. all the stuff from Club 5 Racing came in. And I ordered the link brackets on eBay, but they're not here yet. I'm super excited about this thing, man. Super excited, bang. Bang. So I'm trying to twist off this stupid thing. There we go. So now that I got that off, are you kidding me? Come on, man. My 4-way, all of the different bolt sizes on my 4-way wrench are too big for the bolts. Come on, man. Oh, I'm having such a hard time. I just wanted this to be easy. Is there a little 4-way that comes in the kit with the Redcat? Negative. Was it in maybe a different bag or something? I didn't see it. If I got a 4-way wrench... Oh, yeah, I don't have one of the armors because the 4S armors don't come with that. But I do have this fancy kit. And what is that? 7mm? 7mm. I got it. Joe Pellegrino. So I want to say this, you know, with kind of a grain of salt, right? Like, let me preface what I'm about to say with a you don't need anything for the Gen 8. You know, how much have I put into it to customize it? A lot. But you don't need to put any money into it to make it awesome, right? It's awesome right out of the box for $299. You know, how much more have I spent on it? You know, let's see, $50 here. All this stuff from Club 5 was like $175. 50 more bucks here. It's $275. That was like $20. So $2 something. I don't know. I mean, look, the point is, just like any other hobby, can you put a whole lot of money into something? Of course you can. You know, if you go and buy a car, you know, like if there are cool little hop-ups and upgrades for it, why not do them? I like doing it. I mean, it's fun. Does it need them? Absolutely not, man. It's awesome for $300. You know? Is it easy to throw another $300 in it for a bunch of scale appearance only items that don't really upgrade your performance at all? Yes. And most of what I've done to it is absolutely 100% appearance only that doesn't do anything for the performance. Yeah. I mean, if anything, the number one thing that I would do to any ready-to-run RC car, any ready-to-run, not just this Gen 8, but any ready-to-run out there, take that stock receiver, stock transmitter, unless it's one of the newer Spectrum ones that comes with like the nice, you know, 6100 AT smart receivers. Those are worth keeping. But otherwise, take the receiver, take that stock transmitter, ready to run garbage, and throw that crap in the trash. because it is not worth keeping. It's all junk and is doing nothing but hold you back, right? So get yourself like a DX5C that has 20 model memory instead of having 20 of them stupid ready to run transmitters lined up all over the place. Have one, just like we have for our airplanes. Imagine this, right? If every airplane that you bought come with a DXE. What would you guys do if Brian Bissett, a DXE might be the greatest radio since sliced bread, but I don't want one radio for every plane I've got. You know what I'm saying? Like, take that garbage and get it out of here, man. That's it. A lot of times you just don't have anywhere near the flexibility that you would with a computer-based transmitter. You know, with the computer-based transmitter, I can do a lot more with dual expo, mixes, dual rates, more channels, more customizability. I can reassign buttons and things like that. If I don't like the way that something's moving right now, I can change it up and move it a different way. I mean, there's so much stuff that I can do inside of a DX5 that just can't be done with like the stock crap. So my advice always, get rid of the stock crap and go and get a DX5 and like the SR315 or whatever they are receivers, SR515s. I mean, those things are great little receivers. They don't cost very much. They're easily worth the money that you're spending on them. All right, so we got all our wheels and tires off of the big Redcat. And I don't really want to go too buck wild, but I do want to see what they look like on here. So we're going to go ahead and start pulling these old wheels off. So for you guys that are not aware, not yet, Ray, not yet. My weekends have been pretty crazy here for the last couple of weeks. So for you guys that didn't know, like these crawler tires, I mean, number one, it's like really soft. That's really soft rubber, right? I mean, it very grippy, very soft. I mean, these things can roll over stuff and not get tripped. But these little bolts on the outside, these are real bead locks, right? So that like grabs the inside bead of the tire and locks it onto the rim. You know, so yeah, they're tiny and they can fit in your hand, but those are real bead lock rims, just like you would see on a real, you know, four-wheel drive truck, like a big crawler. So we need to disassemble the bead locks because I want to put on my new wheels and show you guys what they look like on the truck. I think you guys are going to dig them. YouTube and now watching your trolling. Alright, it's 9:30. So remember, guys, at the end of the show tonight, we're all going to hop over on Ray's channel and blow it up. But not yet, because Ray's not going yet. Alright, so we're going to undo the stock beadlock wheels. the gift of gab. I got this fancy driver from Home Depot. Ryobi style. And I just got some hex drivers from Amazon. Yes, sir, Ryobi. The name of Ray's channel is The Gift of Crabs. That's what I'm talking about. Ray's channel is called Gooniac 33 Fiery Booty. Gooniac 33 Fiery Booty, and it's where the party continues at 10:15 Eastern Time, 7:15 Pacific. Come on, you piece of crap. A little sip of the nectar. I think that the electric screwdriver is a must for any hobby enthusiast, whether that is surface or airplanes or even boats, man. It is nice to have the electric screwdriver at your fingertips for sure. I mean, it just makes everything much, much easier. I at least want to get one of these wheels on here. You know, before our time is up, so you guys can see the difference between the stock and the upgrade. But there's so many freaking bolts holding the dang wheels on. All right. So now we've got the bolts off, so we should be able to move. There's our beadlock rings right there, so we can take those off. Take it off. Take it all off. Alright, we should be able to get that wheel off of there pretty easy. I mean, it's just peeling right off. We can kind of get it sideways and bam. So now we've got the old rim out and we got just the tire. So now y'all can see we got just the tire here, and we're gonna mount that tire to the new Trio brass rims that I've got in the case right here, and I think they're gonna look super duper dope and sweet and nice. We're about to find out. I just want to get one in. Oh, come on. Trio packaging is no joke. They have this thing like sealed up like 14 times. We've got all kinds of neat little Trio decals. God. Yeah, I know, right? I'd never make it on a NASCAR team. Sorry, I got this thing like all freaking, you know, zoomed in. And y'all can't see what's up. Interesting. I like these new wheels. That is pretty fancy. So the new ones have bead locks also on the inside and the out, but they're a little bit different. Did y'all hear that? I like these. These are very cool. All right, so the center hub in these things is made out of brass, right? And this is a very heavy piece. So this is what goes inside the wheel. We're gonna squeeze that up in here. Like this. And you know, if y'all have a crawler and you're looking for wheels, you know, you just got to find out what size wheels you got on your particular crawler. Mine was sporting some 1.9 inch rims, so I just found some 1.9 inch rims and went to work. So this one came from here. So now I can reposition that back in there on one side. Reposition this back in here on the other. And here in just a second we will show you what it looks like with the new fancy trio rim on it. And I think you guys are gonna dig it, because I do. I know Kenny always wants to see the lights, but man, these wheels are super lit, dude. These wheels are lit. You'll see. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome. Okay, now I'm gonna bust open my bag of my first set of Club 5 extras here, and this is a set of brass axle offsets. Open. I probably just should have had a knife hanging out. All this stuff is packaged way too good, right? Where did they send their... Did they think they were sending this to, like... Come on. It's America, man. We don't need the packaging to be this good. Ah. Okay, big brass ring. Big brass pin. I mean, I just want you guys to be able to see one rim. Oh, yes. We're almost done. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. I need to blow out the other eardrum. Oh, it looks so good. It looks so good. Oh, come on. Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm excited. I mean, it takes a little longer to do it where you're just swapping out the wheel instead of like taking the whole wheel and tire off and putting on a new one. But man, I'll tell you what, this looks pretty freaking good and was worth the effort in my opinion. Oh yeah. All right. So we're just gonna zoom in and I'll put the body back on even though I don't have both wheels on it. Yes. We're gonna zoom back in here. Can y'all see this? It looks so good. Yes. Look at that sweet, sweet. Yes. I love it. Yes. The ultimate rim job. Those are some good looking wheels right there, son. Look at that detail. Y'all see that? Like the little chrome? The chrome accents around here. And the insets are like beveled. I mean, that is some really good work for a model. And they're all brass, so they're super heavy. They fit the stock wheels just perfect. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better wheel. And then that's how it looks with the green body. Man, that green is just like popping tonight. It's not really that in your face green, you know, that's just like bam. But damn, that looks good. That looks good. I love that wheel, man. That is sick. Very cool. Very cool. All right. So, see, Mafia, the camera that I'm playing with and the little remote, it's the one I was telling you about. It does a good job. This is that Sony AX53. Man, Kenny, maybe it's not the ultimate. Spencer Keith. What is up, man? I love how many people come in here every night to let me know that I'm number one. Yeah, so this little plastic rim, I mean, I feel like we should do a weight comparison on these. So I can tell you what the difference is between, like, here's the Kamzauta and here's the Gazenta. So we took this out of the Gen 8 and we're going to put this into the Gen 8. And what's the difference in weight on all four corners? Now in 5 minutes, guys, we're going to head out and everybody head over to Ray's channel, but we're going to weigh these rims first. Had to go grab my fancy scale. So, where's Mr. Metric System? Is Ryan still in here? Can you do instant gram to ounce conversions? Or is it just instant millimeter to inch conversions? I need gram to ounce. Can you do gram to ounce? My scale can do gram to ounce. So the stock rim and everything that came out of it, right? So we got our beadlock rings and our inner wheel assembly. The weight of all of that is 46 grams. All right, the weight of the new one, and remember with crawlers, we want as much weight as we can get down on the bottom, either on the rotating mass or as far down as we can get it on the axles. Right, so these, remember the stock, 45 grams. These new ones, 117 grams. So that is a big freaking difference. One is 45, one is 117. So we got a lot more weight to these new wheels. Almost 3 times the weight. 45 grams, and we can do that. So in ounces, we're looking at all right, so one set of wheels is 1.6 ounces. This set of wheels, the new ones, 4.1 ounces. So in total, the new wheels are 1 pound and 4 ounces that we are putting on there. And we are getting rid of 1.6 ounces. So we're adding about 12 ounces, or about 3/4 of a pound to the bottom, just on the 4 quarters. We're adding 3/4 of a pound. You know, not like 3/4 of an ounce. We're adding 3/4 of a pound, which, you know, when we're talking small scale like this, that's significant. So these not only will look way better, but they're going to get that center of gravity down low and help that truck from tilting and doing weird stuff. These are awesome. 4.1 ounces each. 100 now they're measuring it at 118 grams. So I don't know what I did, but now they weigh an extra gram than they did before. Anyway, awesome looking, and they also have function as well. It's not just form over function. You know, they're a great looking wheel that also add a ton of weight right down where we need it the most to help stabilize the vehicle. So here we can see it, and then I gotta sign off because Ray's show is coming up here in like 15 minutes, and I want to give you guys a chance to take a little bit of breather before Ray goes live. But I do want to, man, you can feel the extra weight that thing adds. It is significant. So I'm gonna do another telephoto shot. All right, so we can see, and I'm gonna put one of the factory rooms on the rear axle so y'all can see what that looks like. All right, so here's the factory rim, and it's just chrome on the rear. So if you prefer that all chromed out look, I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad, you know. I just wanted to have something different, you know, something a little more than just a full chromed out appearance. I just don't think it looks right. But that right there, it's got just enough bling and just enough toughness. I mean, where I think that looks freaking sweet. That is a, yes, I love it. I love it. Yes. I like the new remote that I've got for my camera so I can do crazy ass telephoto shots like that. I think that's freaking slick. So, sorry guys, I know, you know, normally we talk about airplanes. Tonight it was a little bit of everything. We had some rock crawler action, we had some airplanes, you know, and I mean, I love all RC, right? You guys know that. So, no, Bill Shepard, this is the Treal symbol, T-R-E-A-L. So if you go to Treal Racing, or no, it's trealhobby.com, they make a ton of rock crawler parts, mostly solid brass parts that you can replace a lot of your plastic bits in your axles and in your steering linkages to add a ton of weight to the bottom of your crawler. So that's most of their focus is crawler stuff, but it's Treal, and it does look a little bit like a Tesla logo, but you know, not quite. Oh man. So anyway, guys, yes, JCB 67, the new axles that I got, or not the new axles, but the new axle links. These are all steel links as well. So my front and rear multi-link axles and my new steering connectors. And man, I wish I could just remember the name of that bar that goes on the back. Man, I gotta look it up before I leave. Because it's 10:02, we still got a few minutes. What is the name of that Gen 8? Yeah, that's the cool thing. The John Graham, the Hellcat would not be easy to get from where it sits right now. Nope, the drag link goes on the front brake chambers from the servo to the steering linkage. This is actually on the back of the front axle at the same angle as the drag link. But I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to know the name here in like seconds. The freaking Panhard bar. That's the name of it. The Panhard bar. Yes, Barry Campbell. Right, so that is a true statement. If I got in the seat of this truck, it would have all of the dead weight it needs. That is some rich stuff right there. All right, guys. Yes. So the drag link, the new steering tie rod, the new Panhard bar, and the 7 axle links that I got. All those new links are steel instead of standard tube. They are much heavier. What else did I get? I didn't get like the portal axle housings yet. I got some brass, you know, so the hex heads that hold the wheels in place, I replaced those where, you know, the old ones don't even measure. They don't even have a weight because my scale can't measure that small. The new ones are 13 grams each. The old ones are so light they don't even have a weight on the scale. And the new brass ones are 13 grams a pop. So, you can see that like this brass stuff that these companies make to add that weight down at the bottom. I mean, we're talking significant weight differences. The sticker filter. Sorry, man, I can't do that. So, yes, guys, you know, I'm going to have a lot more cool stuff about the crawler. I know next week, y'all probably want to talk about airplanes, and I'm going to try to have a new airplane here for you guys to see, and I want you guys to be excited for it. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to get it. It should be here by the end of the week, and we're going to have it on the bench for you guys to see on Monday. So make sure you stick around for that. It's not a new plane. It's one that you guys have seen before, but it is new to me, and it is also new to the market relatively. So I'm excited to show it to you. Be sure to stick around next week, next Monday. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe. If you are subscribed already, thank you for coming out tonight. Tell your friends, tell your family. Come hang out with the Air Marshal on Mondays. We always do some cool stuff. Thank you to everybody who made contributions tonight, whether that was via PayPal or via Super Chats. I love you guys, and your support is what keeps this channel going. Everybody check out rcairmarshal.com. Click those affiliate links. On Thursday, remember me. I need to buy a Draco too. And the more of you guys buy a Draco, the closer it gets me to being able to buy my own. Anyway, guys, I love you all. Thank you for coming out tonight. And we will see you all next Monday. And we will have more videos coming out here in the very near future. Y'all have a great night. We will see y'all later.